Hey, I'm going to make a quick video here so you can see how we stage our emergency and disaster preparedness kennels at home. This is how you'll find them in our closet or in another storage room. I'm going to go over this airline type crate first. The way we've got it set up is, I'll go ahead and pull this one in. This one's a quick deploy for our cats, and I'll go over that in a minute. But then if our cats or a larger animal is going to be getting housed in a crate for an evacuation, whatever the situation is, we're going to use one of these more stable crates here. This is just a quick deploy, get them out of the house very quickly, and then once we get to where we're going, or it may just be to the front yard, we can transport them over to a more stable crate like this that has more space. There's like a medium-sized crate like this that I think is good for cats. This is good for an evacuation because it's quick and it's small spaced. But then once you get to where you're going to stay after an evacuation, then you want to switch them to a larger crate so that they've got room to stretch out, curl up, and live in there comfortably. Because putting a cat in here with a water bowl and a small little litter box, that's not enough space. All right. Okay, so how do we have it set up? I do have this water bowl in here, or water food bowl, whatever you want to use it for. I'll go over that momentarily here. The things that are essential for this to work, we just throw away the nuts and the screws that come with these because it takes too much time to put together in an emergency, and quite often they'll get rusted from the disinfection process of one of these. So we just get rid of those. The thing that's the best and the quickest are cable ties, also known as zip ties. You can get these from your local like home do-it-yourself center or a hardware store, and you might be able to find it in larger department stores in the hardware section, but for sure hardware store and your local do-it-yourself center. I brought these because you can use these here. I just find these with my big fingers too tedious to work with. However, any of these are strong enough to do what we want to do with this crate, but I prefer these. I think these are 6 or 8 inch. Okay, and then the other thing that you want to have is a pair of side cutters. All right, so you can get a small pair of side cutters, you can have a regular pair of side cutters, but these are going to be essential if you're using cable ties to either taking this apart, or if something didn't work out right, is to disconnect this, and I'll show you a malfunction that may require you to cut one and then replace it here soon. All right, and then remember, there's 2, 4, 6, 8 places for a cable tie on here, so I want at least 2 extra of these cable ties in a bag, and then they're kept just like this. These are kept, the side cutters are kept in a toolbox, so we don't keep them with the kit. But you could go buy a pair of these really cheap just about anywhere, or department store, or all right, there's another one coming, but we'll go ahead and continue with this. This is how you're going to find it staged in our closet. We have the zip ties in it. All right, I think that's the last one. All right, I think that's the last one, at least for the moment. This is how you're going to find this staged in our home here. We've got the zip ties in a Ziploc bag, and then we've got multiple of these. I don't know what they're technically called, but these wet pads to put in human beds, so if somebody's incontinent, to absorb either feces or urine. That's what we have these for inside there. There's multiple ones because we could end up with having to change it frequently during an emergency, and We just want it to be as easy and as quick as possible. And then you'll see there's one already in place in here, okay? And then the door is in here. That way, if the door is sandwiched in there and you stage it this way, you know when you open this up, your door is going to be where you want it to be, okay? Okay, so you can put your timer on. So I have moved it here, put this into position, make sure that that lip is overlapping there. It doesn't matter which side you put the hinge on, whatever side works the best for you, okay? And then we're going to put the zip ties on. Remember, I'm not trying to do this quick. This is a demonstration. So you can imagine how quickly this might go if you were, if you had practiced this. Okay, so I'm going to do these here real quick. And then I'll talk about water bowl and food bowl. Unless your animal has some type of medical condition that requires it to have immediate access to food and water, we don't put food or water bowls while we are in transit, as long as it's up to 24 hours. But probably we will put it in about 12 hours, give them a drink, and then take the water bowl out to help just prevent a mess. And they don't, you know, like I said, if there's a medical condition that they need to be fed, then they get fed. But we might not feed them for 24 hours, and even they may not have access for up to 24 hours, depending on what's happening. But it's usually pretty easy to just give them some water in one of those collapsible bowls. So let's say I have gone around here and I didn't start here at the beginning and this hinge was out, or I started here and somehow the hinge came out. This is where you're going to just use your side cutters to cut this off here. Okay, and you'll see me demonstrate that in a moment. So then you can put this back in place. I like to start it this way. I was hoping that it would automatically do that, because sometimes when I'm moving around, this might pop out. So I always recommend starting with these two first on your hinge side, so that this doesn't pop out on you when you're moving it around. Can you tell we're in the Everglades? And that's it. So that was done. That's how quick it is to do something like this. And just show you, I know you've got to see these collapsible bowls by now. So food or water, and then if you're not using it, you can just attach it to the front there. Okay. All right, let's break this down, and I want you to see how, you know, people say, well, I don't have time for that. You don't have time for what? You don't have time to set one of these up, really? I'll tell you what, we got these wet pads, we got them off of like a Craigslist thing. People were just giving them away, so we went and got them. We're like, these are great for using in crates situations, especially for an evacuation. Now, if we're doing an emergency evacuation of, say, like a pet store or apartment complex or something like that, where we really just need to get the animal inside there, we're not going to mess with those wet pads. They're not going to have them in the crate. It's all about getting the animal secured in the crate quickly, and that's it. That's how long it takes to put a kit like that together. Of course, you got to factor in getting some of these parts here, your zip ties, your wet dry pads. But that's it. It's a pretty quick deal there. Okay. Now, let's look at these other two crates. So did I address everything? Yeah, putting it together, deploying it, how it's stored. You got your door inside there, and then your wet dry pads and your zip ties. And then if you got your cutters and you don't have a toolbox, or you buy a separate pair just for this, then store them inside one of your crates if you have multiple crates. Okay? Alright, let's put this trash in here. I'm going to take a brief break away from the video for a moment to remind you how important it is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free. It's just a click or tap away. Like the content, share it on your social media, leave a comment about what you think of our content, this video. If you have an experience to share or a video that you would like to see the postmortem cover, put that down in the comments, and then head on over to our website. There's a lot of good information over there about emergency and disaster preparedness, as well as other things related to the organization. I'm not going to tell you what the other stuff is. It's a secret. You got to go over there and find out for yourself. Okay, let's get back to the video. Get this one down. Okay, these are preferred for cats. We had 2 cats. We're down to 1 now. But we prefer these for cats because there's no putting anything together. We can, on a moment's notice, and then this is in here to keep this from collapsing when we store this one on top of it. This is just a filler. Okay, so once again, we've got multiples of those pads. There's one that's already staged inside here, ready to go. Okay, and so for your small animals, small mammal species, these are really ideal because it's already set up. All it requires is this zipper. I'm gonna unzip that again real quick so you can see how quickly you can grab your cat or your whatever small animal inside the house there and unzip this thing. Get kitty cat in there. Try to keep kitty cat in there. If you have a cat, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then make sure that you zip it all the way so that both zippers are connected. And you want to put it in a place so you can easily see that at all times. That way you'll know that it's zipped properly, okay? And so let me put this back inside here. Yeah, so this is just a filler to help this hold its shape because most of the time it's setting in a closet, okay? Where before I put that piece of styrofoam in there, this would just sort of collapse down on itself, okay? All right, so we use these 2 in combination, and there's a reason that we chose this. This one has one of those luggage, I don't know what the luggage carry handle, and it's on wheels, so that when we are, I guess I'll do it this way. Some of these bags have this strap for hanging on like a chair. The way we would use this and designed it is this strap here goes over top of this, and then the 2 cats can be loaded up into this indoors and just run out of the house with this like that. Let's let this airboat go by. I wouldn't have imagined it. The reason I picked this spot is we're pretty far out into the Everglades here. I wouldn't have imagined that this section would be so busy today, but I was wrong. That's the fire department guys coming in. I can tell they're all dressed the same. They all got their PFDs on. There's a truck over there from Palm Beach County Fire over there. All right, so this is how we do it. It's marked inside the closet like this, and it's set up to just do that right there. All right, this one here, the only difference between these 2 is this one has the strap for hanging on something, and this one has the carry handle and the wheels on it to make it easy to deploy. All right, despite all the airboat drama, I hope that you found this really useful here, and that I can edit out a lot of stuff in this video. All right, we'll see you next time.